Hi, so happy to be here with you. Today I'm going to talk about how to honor our process, how to acknowledge how far we have gone in what we want, and how God works through us and prepare us for what we want. Even when we don't know exactly what we want, He is preparing us. So I was actually analyzing something, and it was the fact that, as I said yesterday in a podcast, there was something holding me back, and it was the image other people have about me, and I was taking that image for granted. So I kept for several years rejecting the idea that I am able and I am capable of doing exactly this that I am doing, of counseling, of making video counseling, of exposing myself. And I was actually acknowledging my journey and how I actually get here or got here where I am, and how I am moving forward. Because to move forward, it is important to look backwards and say, okay, I have done this, especially when we are feeling with lack of trust, or when we are feeling stuck in one place, or when we don't see things immediately manifesting as fast as we want. So it is important to look back and say, okay, I have gone a long way in a very short time. So that is the case for me. In very, very short time, I have, like, my life have changed completely. So I was acknowledging this, and I said, oh my God, 2 years from now, God was preparing me for this. I used to be a teacher at the university, one of the universities here in my country, and one day, I think in my first semester, I was teaching. They called me from the department of the career, of communications career, and they told me they want me to talk in front of several people from in the University of Chicago, and to tell my experience as a teacher. And that was my second semester. So it was, I think, the first time I actually went there to talk about something I love to do, something I wanted to talk about, and that inspires me. I wanted to inspire the people that were there with my experience so far. So I thought I was going to be nervous, and in that moment I arrived to the place. I just stood there in front of everyone, took the microphone on, and started talking, and it felt so liberating. I felt I was doing exactly what I always wanted to do. I have never felt comfortable enough with what I was doing, like, in that moment. So for me, that was a wake-up call. It was, I think, the first message of the first sign of what I was going to become. So for me, my experience as a teacher was, elemental. It was so important for discovering myself and discovering the gift and the ability I have to do this. So with time, I acknowledged I was good talking in front of people, that I wasn't afraid to do that, and that more than teaching how to do something technically or specifically about communications. What I loved to do was that my students had so much trust in me that they asked me to counsel them in different topics. So I spent a lot of time of my teaching classes actually counseling my students on personal things, on personal basis. So there I said, oh my God, I want to do this. And there I discovered actually one of the things I am passionate about, what I wanted to do. And that was more than 2 years ago. But God was preparing me for this moment, for what I am doing, for what I become, and what I am doing right now every day of my life, and I love it so much. So it is important to take a moment and say, okay, I honor my process. I know that maybe everything I want, it is not manifested yet, but I am getting there. I am getting there, and you can acknowledge how every time you take a step forward, another a step just illuminate, like the next step just pop out. Like when you take action and do what you have to do and take the step you have to take in that moment, the next steps just pop out, and it is like baby steps, like, you know, and that is the important part of the process. We can actually, it is not good for us if we see the whole picture. If we see the whole picture, we wouldn't have the time to heal what we have to heal, to let go what we have to let go, and to actually like give us a break and say, okay, this is what I am becoming. I am good with this. I am not good with that. And to polish actually our goal, to polish our dreams. It is amazing. It is beautiful. The process will leave when we are creating something. And sometimes we are impatient. We are going through hard situations that doesn't seem to end. And that makes us anxious. That makes us want to know the whole picture. But actually, it is a spiritual awakening when you accept the place you are in this moment, whatever the place is, if it's uncomfortable or if it's comfortable. The place you are here right now, when we feel uncomfortable in the place we are right now, it is because we are changing something. It is the same thing of the comfort zone. We have to get out of our comfort zone. So change to get what we want and to manifest what we want, to achieve our dreams and our goals, requires to get out of our comfort zone, requires to feel uncomfortable most of the time. It is not like sitting on a hammock in front of the beach. It actually takes a lot of work. It actually takes a lot of courage and a lot of love for what you want and what you are doing, to not give up and to continue, because the path is going to make you feel uncomfortable, but that's good. That's the best part of it. And to feel comfortable with the uncomfortable, that's the lesson. And there is when you're going to say, okay, I am here for this. I present myself for what I want. I honor my path. And I am going to keep doing what I have to do, taking action for what I want until I get there. And you will get there. So have a great day.